What's up, everybody? This is Rob from LearnBridge.nyc, and these are the results from our most recent online tournament, which was July 14th. We're going to start off with board number one here, and coincidentally enough, this was our lesson this past week locally in New York. It was new minor forcing. And most of you caught this pretty well here. We opened a diamond with the south hand. Our partner bid one heart, and we bid one no trump with this hand. We're not going to rebid anything other than one no trump because we just want to show a balanced 12 to 14, and that's exactly what we have, guys. Some of you rebid two clubs, and this is going to be more like an unbalanced hand, like five diamonds and four clubs. So you're not going to want to rebid it in this case because you're going to be showing more of an unbalanced hand. So when you bid one no trump, you describe your hand much, much better. And now partner bids two clubs. And when you're playing with the robots, you will notice that when they make a bid that's not natural, it's always going to be highlighted in yellow, just like all of our bids are, because that means we can see what they're supposed to mean. But when it has a red border around it, that means it's a conventional bid. So, if we're not sure what it is, and if you're not familiar with new minor forcing, there's no problem with that. That's the best part about the robots. Now you can just mouse over the bid and it says, oh, okay, new minor forcing, which usually shows an invitational hand or better, so a good 10 plus, and almost always shows five of the major that we bid originally. So here, that's exactly what partner has. They have 11 points. They have King, Queen, Jack, 10, fifth of hearts. So this is the perfect new minor forcing bid. And here's where most of us just bid 2 no trump, which is absolutely the right bid, guys. We have a bad 13. The times where we jump to 3 no trump are the times where our hand is going to accept any invitation. So your very good 13s or 14 are the times that you're going to be bidding 3 no trump. So some of you did bid 3 no trump, and you got paid off because it does make a game in most spots. So here we had 4 people bidding 3 no trump, so congratulations. However, the best bid after 2 clubs is 2 no trump, and if you notice, all the pros are bidding 2 no trump on this end, and that's where we want to stay. The play is going to require you to set up some tricks to take the maximum. So we get a spade lead, which we probably had at every table, and they cash 2 spade tricks, and then they lead a third spade. So right now, we have 1 winner. We can absolutely take 5 heart tricks, but that gets us to 6 winners. Not enough, right? We have to develop some outside tricks to be able to make our contract. So if we played hearts right away, we're going to have them pitch some cards away, but we're also going to have to do the same with our cards. So it makes sense here just to set up your outside tricks first and kind of leave the opponents in the dark as to what your strategy is. I mean, it looks like we're clearly going to be playing hearts, but they don't know we have the ace, right? They could think their partner does. So we're going to play a club next. And we're just going to try to set up tricks in this suit. And that's exactly what we've done. So now, if we go back and count our winners, we've taken 2 tricks so far. Now we have 5 heart tricks, just like we had before. That's 7. And we will have 2 club tricks for 9. And that's exactly how we're going to play the rest of the hand. Now we're simply going to take our tricks and run hearts and give them the ace of diamonds. So we should have been in 2 no trump making 3. And notice, just because you didn't big game doesn't mean you got a bad score. If you play it correctly, you're going to get 86.4%. Great. So they could have taken 1 extra trick, and that would be before they let a club here. If they had let a diamond here instead, now partner gets to take the ace of diamonds and their good spades. So they could have held us to 2, but they didn't. They let a club here. They didn't know which way to get to partner's hand. So we were allowed to take 1 extra trick because now that 6 of spades goes away. They never get that trick. So board number 2 is very interesting. We had a lot of people choose to open 1 no trump, and it's the worst scenario ever when we open 1 no trump because the north player is going to transfer to spades and pass. And this is almost like Murphy's Law. When you decide to open 1 no trump with a singleton and a major, it's just predictable that partner's going to be transferring into that major. You didn't do too terribly if you played 2 spades on this hand. However, if you play 1 no trump, you do much better. So my auction started with 1 diamond. I didn't want to open a no trump, even though it's very tempting to do that, knowing that some of the other pros will do it as well. And my partner bid 1 spade, and now comes a tough choice. We do not have enough points to bid 2 hearts. That would be your reverse, guys. And a reverse happens whenever we go past the 2 level of the suit we opened. So here I opened a diamond. My partner bid a spade. If I bid 2 hearts, I've gone past the level of my first bid suit, and I'm at the 2 level. So 2 hearts would show a very good hand. The textbook is like a very good 16 plus, but really it should be even stronger than that, almost jump shift strength. But this hand also shouldn't want to rebid 2 diamonds, even though it wouldn't be that terrible. You have a pretty good 5-card diamond suit, you would be showing a 6-card suit. So 2 diamonds is much better than 2 hearts for sure. But any bid we make, we're going to be telling a little bit of a white lie. I chose to tell the lie that I thought was going to be least damaging. I bid 1 no trump. And I should have more of a balanced hand, but really we're not going to have our bid no matter what we choose to do. 2 hearts would be the absolute worst choice. 2 diamonds would be okay, and 1 no trump is obviously okay. And if you bid 1 no trump, it goes pass, pass, pass. I would guess if you bid 2 diamonds, they would probably pass it out as well. And you're going to end up playing 1 no trump. If you notice, the people that did open a no trump, they got transferred into spades and sat there. Now, while they did make 3 spades, if we play 1 no trump and we can make the number of tricks that we were able to make here, we're going to get a much better score. And if you see here, I was plus 180 on this particular board. And I want to show you real quick how I played this hand. They led a club. They led the jack, which is a good lead, top of an interior sequence. They want to set up that suit for sure. But we are allowed to take an extra trick because of it. We play low, and our queen is allowed to win the trick. And this is another spot where we're just going to count our winners. We have 1 trick already. We have the ace of clubs, that's 2. The ace king of diamonds, that's 4. And 3 heart tricks, that's 7. So we have our contract made, and we could conceivably just rip off 7 tricks and just make 1. However, we have a good chance of taking extra tricks on a hand like this, and it's going to come in the diamond suit. So at trick 2, I played a low diamond, and here is the rationale behind this. If diamonds are breaking 3-3, I can take 4 out of my 5 diamond tricks. I always have to lose one of these tricks. So I could do one of 2 things. I could do what I did and lead a low diamond right away, or I could play the ace king of diamonds and lead a diamond. And if they split 3-3, it really doesn't matter which way you do it. However, if you're getting a bad break, this play is a little better because I've given them a trick right now. And the next thing I'm going to do when I get back in is play the ace and the king of diamonds. And now I get to see if the suit breaks evenly while maintaining control. That's important because if it breaks badly, and you play ace king of diamonds diamond, you actually get to take 2 or more tricks when it breaks badly because you've essentially let them win a trick and now they're on lead with a good trick. However, this way you get to test diamonds out while still maintaining some level of control in the hand, and we'll see what happens next. They let another diamond, and now we get to test out if it's breaking, and it does break. They broke 3-3, so now these 2 diamonds are good. And then we're just going to run some heart tricks and cash the ace of clubs and see how many tricks we will make. Notice if we go all the way back to the beginning here, you can see that the maximum number of tricks they can take when they win this diamond is 3 spade tricks. Right? They could have taken 3 tricks from this particular point. But notice we still get to make the 3 level. Right? Because everything's working out for us. So they missed an opportunity to take 1 extra trick. So here we just did real well for playing 1 no trump. You did okay if you played 2 spades. Some of you were in 1 no trump making less tricks, however still getting a reasonable result. Those of you that rebid 2 diamonds ended up playing it there just like I thought, and you end up making 3. Here's the problem playing minor suits. It's great when you are playing a part score and you have a good fit and there's no other option for you, but when partner bids 1 spade, it's okay to bid 1 no trump, just because they've bid a suit that you're the weakest in, really. If you did play 2 diamonds, you made 9 tricks. The problem is that's only 110 points. So you did better than some of the people not making as many tricks in no trump, but far worse than the people making just 2 no trump or making 3 of one of their major suits. So here you do have your choice. 1 no trump is definitely going to be better in this spot in the long run, just because of how strong you are outside of that suit and just the hopes that partner has something good in that suit. So board 3, I just want to touch on one thing real quick. The south hand opened 1 spade and north raised to 2 spades. The correct bid with the south hand is an invitational bid. You do not have enough to jump to four spades. A four spade bid here should show like 19 points, right? Enough to play game opposite partner's worst raises. And here you're not quite there, even though it looks sexy, right? You have a 6-card spade suit, not a great quality spade suit, and we can see that when the dummy comes down, it's even worse than we thought. However, we do have an extra trump, but we still do not have quite enough to bid for. So we want to bring partner into this conversation. If partner has a bad raise, we want them to be able to pass 3 spades and maintain some level of safety. If we jump to 4 spades, we're very likely going to be a level higher than the field is. And that's what we want to protect against, guys. We don't want to be in 4 spades down 1 when the rest of the field is in 3 spades making 3. So we bid 3 spades, and as it turns out, it doesn't matter whether you bid 3 or 4 because partner is always going to raise to 4 anyway. But now we've had more of a scientific approach to this game rather than just closing our eyes and hoping 4 spades is right. So this auction that you're looking at is the best auction. 1 spade, 2 spades, 3 spades, 4 spades. So board 5 saw the same auction at every single table. Very straightforward. We open 1 no trump with the south hand, and everybody just passes. Perfect. We're playing 1 no trump. My favorite contract, actually. And it's probably Joe's favorite contract. All the pros love to play 1 no trump, which brings us back to a conversation we had previously with Joel and Radu. It's interesting when you're at the club and you're playing against a professional bridge player. If they're bidding 1 no trump and it goes pass to you, you might make a call more frequently than you normally would. And on this hand, to be honest, with the East cards, it would be tempting if Joe Grew was sitting south and he opened a no trump and it went pass. I would be more inclined to balance with this particular hand, especially considering the vulnerability. Because I kind of know if Joe Grew gets to play 1 no trump against me, I'm not going to get a good score, right? He's going to play it at least a trick better than most of the players that are sitting in his seat. However, here, obviously, we open a no trump and it's normal just to go pass. But in a real game, if a pro is opening 1 no trump, I would at least be a little more aggressive if I had favorable vulnerability in the balancing seat, because honestly, it's a nightmare having Joe Grew or Johnny Hurd playing a no trump against you at the club. It's just a recipe for a bad score. But let's see how we played this hand, because really the play was the difference on this hand. Everybody had the same auction, and we just had a whole bunch of variation in the number of tricks that everybody took. We had some people going down, some people getting a little too high somehow. Not sure how that happened. And if you did get to 3 no trump, you want to take a look at the rest of the auctions, because we probably were a little too aggressive with our hands. The play started with a 4th best spade lead. Interesting that they chose not to lead a heart, but whatever. They led a spade, and we're allowed to win with the 9 at trick 1. And it doesn't really matter what East does. If they play the ace, we have 2 spade tricks anyway. When they play low, we still have 2 spade tricks, except one of them is now the 9. So here's where we start. We're going to count our winners, and it's not going to be pretty to start. We've taken 1 spade trick. We have 3 diamond tricks. That's 4. And that's it, guys. We certainly have possibilities of developing at least 1 trick in all of the other suits. But at this moment, we want to take a look at which suit is going to provide us with the most tricks. And it should jump out at you here. It's clubs, right? We have 8 cards in that suit, and we have a nice finessable situation here. When you see King Jack 9-8 opposite 10-4, we know we don't want to lead clubs from the south hand. We want to get over to the north hand to be able to lead clubs from that side. So we lead a low diamond at trick 2 to the queen, and then we plunk down the 10 of clubs. And the reason we play the 10, guys, is because just in case East plays low and either has ace queen or just the queen, we get to play low from our hand, and somehow if this trick wins, we get to stay in the north hand, right? So if it goes 10 of clubs, low, 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 I'm still in the north hand, and I still get to take this finesse again. If you played a low club and you're allowed to win the 8 in your hand, you're stuck in your hand and you really don't have a good way to get to the dummy. So this is why we play the 10. And East jumps up with the ace, which, in all honesty, usually suggests that they have ace queen. And that's because if they had the ace and a small card, the ace and 2 small cards, they're way more likely to play low and try to score the queen for their partner. However, you can see on this hand that's not the case, but in a realistic game, if you ever see leading towards king jack, they hop up with the ace. It's a very good giveaway that they probably have the queen, so you would just want to try to take this finesse again. Now they cash the ace of spades, and here's where I play the king underneath the ace. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get back to dummy so I can take that club finesse again. So I have to unblock this. I have to get rid of my king, and now when they lead a spade, I get to win that trick in dummy and take my club finesse again. So I've created an entry by unblocking this card here. However, the robot just leads a club now. Great. We take the finesse just like we planned to, and it loses. Not too terrible. And now they return a spade, and we win our queen, and let's count our winners again. We've taken 3 tricks so far. We have 2 more club tricks for 5, and 2 diamond tricks for 7 at this point. And maybe, if we're lucky, we'll get to develop an 8th trick. So we can absolutely take 7 tricks, but let's get greedy here. This is match points, so over tricks really matter. And I want you to think about it in this particular way. Count the number of losers you might have if they win the ace of hearts. And you should have 2 in your head. When we lead a heart to the king and someone wins the ace of hearts, if that person has that good spade that they've set up, they'll take 2 tricks total, which means we get to make 2, which is 1 more than we're making if we just cash out. If we cash out all our winners now, we're going to make 7 tricks, maybe 8, but we're guaranteed 7 in that spot. However, if we play a heart to our king, the worst case is that we make 1 extra trick. We make 8, right? Meaning they take their ace of hearts and then they cash their spade, but that's the worst thing that can happen to us. We always get an extra trick. So now's the time to do that. And if they don't have the good spade, maybe we get lucky and take even more tricks. So we set up our trick, and we know we're taking 1 more trick than we were if we just cashed out. And that's exactly how we end up. They cash their spade, we pitch away a diamond, and bingo, we have all winners. And it's a claim for 8 tricks. So be mindful of that, guys. Make sure you know where you're starting, especially in 1-note trump. Usually when you count your winners, it's going to be a very quick count, right? Because you're only in 1. If you can count 9 winners and you're only in 1, it means you probably didn't bid enough. So count your winners, and then the next step is, what suit is going to provide me with the most extra tricks? Here, that's clubs for sure. And then after you set up those tricks, do another count of your winners and see where you are. If there's a safe opportunity for extra tricks, you always want to take it. If it's not safe, meaning if you lose that heart to the ace and you rate to go down now, you would never make that play, right? So if they had 3 winning spades, I would certainly never play a heart. But because I know they can only take 2 tricks maximum, it's very, very safe because I'm always taking more than I would had I just ripped off my winners. Board 6 saw a help suit game try by our partner. We started off with the opening bid of 1 diamond. Our partner bid 1 heart, and we should just be raising to 2 hearts here, guys. You have a minimum hand. You do have support for partner suit, so you just want to show that. Some of you might have jumped, and some of you made some weird bids. Somebody bid 3-no trump here, which is, I don't know, a little insane. So check your work on that one. You might have misclicked. I'm not sure. So this is the perfect description of your hand, right? You open a minor suit, partner bid a heart, and you have a minimum and 4 hearts. So you bid 2 hearts, and now partner bids 3 diamonds. The rationale behind this one, guys, is pretty simple. When you found a major suit fit and partner bids a new suit, this cannot be an attempt to play in that suit, even though we did open 1 diamond, right? This is what's called a help suit game try. So anytime we have a major suit fit and partner bids a new suit, it's one of 2 things. If we're in a game forcing auction, it's a control bid. If we're in a non-game forcing auction, this bid is some attempt to play game in our major. So that's what 3 diamonds is. It says, hey, if you have help in this suit, I want you to bid 4 hearts. And if you don't, I want you to bid 3. All of the pros bid 3 hearts. And that should be a big tip off here. We all look at this hand and see that it is pretty much a bare minimum. And while we do have a reasonable diamond holding, our hand is such a minimum that we just don't want to accept an invitation to game. So we bid 3 hearts. And that's where we stay. And that's the limit that we can make on this particular hand. So this is a very precise auction that gets you an excellent score because so many other people are either getting too high or going down in 3 hearts. But a lot of you were in 4 hearts down. Somebody went buck wild and bid 6 hearts down 4. A little too much on that one. You might have made a little too aggressive of a bid at some point. But if you play 3 hearts and you're able to make 3, you're going to get an excellent result. And let's take a quick look at the play here. So they started off with the ace of clubs and a club. And then they switched to the heart suit, and we were able to win with the queen and dummy. And this is a spot where we're always going to draw trump. You can see that we're really not trumping anything in either hand. We're both voiding clubs. We have no possibilities of trumping diamonds because we have the same number, and we're not going to need to trump a spade either. So always draw the trump to completion. Let me do that here. And here comes the spot where we may make it and we may go down, and it's going to depend on a couple of different cards. At this moment, I don't want to lead a diamond. At least that's what I was thinking at this point. And the rationale behind this is I might be able to set up the long spade if they break evenly and be able to pitch one of my diamonds on that spade. And I would much prefer that they lead diamonds to me rather than take the finesse myself, because maybe I get to have a little end play, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I started with the ace of spades here and then played a low spade to the queen, and it lost, unfortunately. If the king was in east, I would have taken this trick and led another spade, but here they were able to cash their spades, which makes that 4 of spades good. So now that 3 of diamonds can be pitched away on that card, and here is where they led a low diamond, and notice they are end played at this point. If they lead a club, I get to trumpet in the dummy and pitch away the 3 of diamonds. And then I get to play the 4 of spades and pitch away the jack of diamonds. They would give me a sluff and a ruff. That's a beautiful situation for us. And their other choice is to lead a diamond, which is equally bad for them. So now when they lead a low diamond, I have to play low. I'm not going to play the ace because I can't get rid of all my diamond losers. And here we got our nice free finesse, and the hand is over. Sometimes it's better to let the opponents lead some of your problem suits for you, and this was one of those hands where it worked out really well. And if you were in 3 hearts making 3, it was worth a very, very big score. Board 7 saw a great opportunity to play defense. We started the auction by opening 1 diamond. Our left-hand opponent made a squirrely 1 heart bid. Not normal, guys. We would not overcall with this hand because we do not have a 5-card suit. But the robot, especially in the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of instances where the robot is overcalling 4-card suits. It's their style. When they have strength in that suit, they want to get that lead directing bid out there. Partner doubles, which shows exactly 4 spades, guys. This is the negative double. If they had 5 spades here, they would bid 1 spade. It would show 5 or more spades. So they double, we know they have 4. East passes, and we show support by bidding 1 spade. West doubles, and it goes pass, and East bids 2 clubs. And we just bid 2 spades, right? We're not showing a ton of extra values here. We just bid 1 spade originally. We're just not going to let them take it for 2 clubs. And then it goes pass, pass, 3 clubs. Here's what we know. We showed support for spades and partner passed originally. We then bid 2 spades and partner passed again. So if we're going to compete to the 3 level, it's going to be up to our partner to do that. We've already shown exactly what we have. And that's the beauty here. It's okay to let them play, even in this format where you're guaranteed to have the best hand. Playing defense, especially when they're vulnerable, is a good spot to create a good score. And you'll notice if we get to play defense, we get to get 86.1% on this board because we go plus 200. Anyone that bid past 3 clubs, you missed an opportunity for your best plus score. Even those of you that made 4 in spades, you bid 3 spades, you made 4. You still didn't do as well as those of us that defended 3 clubs, because we get to go plus 200 when you're going plus 170. So when they're vulnerable and you've shown your hand, you are out. Right? You're going to let them play, and you rate to do quite well if you're beating this. And a lot of times you might not even be making 3 spades. So this is a win-win here. You just sit back, you take your tricks on defense, and you score really well. 86% for plus 200. The last board I want to talk briefly about because it was my only disaster. I'm so upset. I probably would have been right next to max if I had done this correctly. I took North's bid as showing more than they had. They have the worst hand ever. Not only do they have 4 terrible points, they're 4 triple 3. So I hate the fact that they bid two spades, but whatever. I jumped to four because I had what I thought was a very good hand, opposite a hand they're willing to come in with two spades with, and I got beat down pretty severely, down two. A lot of the other pros picked this off right away. They just passed two spades and got a great result, and we'll notice that here, two spades making two was excellent. It was like 80%. So if I had only had the wherewithal just pass this out, or maybe just bid three spades, I probably would have done a heck of a lot better. But that's bridge. Sometimes you're just going to make bad bids and you're going to have to pay the price. And that price was third place for me, 28.7% on the last board. Ugh. I'll try to do better the next time. But thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'm still going to run this tournament. I'm going to be in Toronto for the next 2 weeks for the Nationals. And I'm going to try to enlist a bunch of the pros I see there to play in this. So this is the time to be playing this tournament because we're going to have a lot of good players playing, and hopefully we'll enlist some of them to join us for the videos each of the weeks we're in Toronto. So until next week, thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you at the tables. Take care, guys.